Honourable Senators, members of the House of Commons, it is with a deep sense of pride and pleasure that my wife and I join you here today as we witness Canadians.
The royal family often makes headlines, but something unexpected just happened. A big announcement was made that has reportedly upset Queen Camilla. She isn't the only one feeling the impact. The Duke of Kent and others are involved in this shakeup. Who made this announcement, and why is it causing such a stir in the monarchy?
My lords and members of the House of Commons, we gather today in remembrance of the remarkable span of the Queen's.
Let's explore the royal decision that has affected Camilla. The unexpected announcements. The new king made significant changes right after taking the throne. The royal family started a full review of their charities and roles. This review was substantial, as it involved deciding who would stay as patron of specific organizations, who would take on new roles, and which connections would end. This type of review had not happened in decades. The goal was to align the royal family's work with today's priorities and the availability of working royals. It showed that not all roles from the late Queen would continue just because of tradition. Instead, they would be closely examined. The review took months and was kept quiet, but many people were surprised when the results were finally released. The first major announcement was that many royal connections would end. This was framed as a practical step to manage the family's workload, but many charities were caught off guard. Hundreds of groups had relied on their royal links as part of their identity. The palace stated that it was not feasible to keep every connection, so some had to go. This move signaled that the new reign would look different. Soon after, the palace released lists detailing which charities would keep their patrons, which would get new ones, and which would lose their connections entirely. For some charities, this brought relief, while others felt disappointment. Some had enjoyed their royal connection for over a century, so losing it was a significant change. A notable outcome was Queen Camilla's increased role. She became the patron of about 15 new organizations focused on nursing, literacy, and volunteer work, aligning with her long-standing support in these areas. As Duchess of Cornwall, she built her profile around reading and aiding victims of domestic abuse. Now, as Queen, her role grew to reflect her ongoing commitment. Some charities expressed their gratitude for her continued support. Shelterbox, a disaster relief group, confirmed she would stay their patron. The Queen's Nursing Institute also thanked her, highlighting the value of her connection. These statements reminded everyone that the review was about losses and new opportunities. At the same time, another announcement showed how the royal family has changed over the generations. The Duke of Kent, a cousin of the late Queen and one of the longest-serving royals, began stepping back from his military roles. His decision to resign as Colonel of the Scots Guards illustrated the changing times. He had served for decades but felt age was catching up with him. This marked a shift where older royals slowly reduced their duties, allowing the family to depend on a smaller group of active members. The royal family has announced major renovations at Buckingham Palace. The project, which is the biggest in the palace's history, has been ongoing for years and costs hundreds of millions of pounds. This funding comes from an increase in the sovereign grant. The palace says the work is necessary to avoid serious repairs later. Because of the renovations, Buckingham Palace cannot be used as before. State visits and large receptions will now take place at Windsor Castle and St. James's Palace instead. While this is practical, it breaks with tradition. For many years, foreign leaders have been welcomed in the grand rooms of Buckingham Palace, and their closure changes the atmosphere of these events. The palace insists this move is temporary, but since the project will last for years, it will affect many royal events during this time. The high cost of the renovations has made the issue public. There are discussions about whether taxpayers should pay for the palace's updates. Supporters argue that this upkeep is vital for a national landmark and helps prevent expensive repairs in the future. The palace defends the renovations by citing technical needs, while the trustees of the sovereign grant mention oversight. Official financial reports provide more details. They show rising energy and staff pay costs, justifying the need for budget cuts. These reports also relate to the palace's goal of modernization and better spending control. We learned that nearly 200 organizations are affected by these changes, signaling a significant shift. Meanwhile, changes are happening among senior royals as well. The Duke of Kent's reduced role is part of a trend where older royals are taking on less responsibility. There are reports of retirements and duties transfers. All these decisions aim to improve the royal system. However, they have significantly impacted several royals. creating a lot of change behind palace walls. One notable effect is on Queen Camilla, who has reportedly become frustrated with these developments. But what is causing her frustration? What does this mean for her future role in the royal family? Stay tuned as we uncover details that might surprise you. How the new changes are turning Camilla's world upside down. Before the recent royal family changes, Queen Camilla had a busy schedule as queen consort. She attended events, gave speeches, and greeted many people while maintaining her composure. Now that King Charles is undergoing cancer treatment, her responsibilities have increased significantly. At nearly 80 years old, she handles long days filled with travel and interactions, which can be tiring and risky for her health. We've noticed some signs of strain recently. For instance, she missed the Royal Variety performance due to illness. This absence is significant, especially with fewer working royals, as each no-show draws more attention. She also missed Remembrance Sunday, which led to public speculation about her health. While it's understandable given her age, her missing these events raises questions about her ability to fulfill her duties. There's also concern about funding. The sovereign grant has increased recently for palace repairs and estate upkeep, while the UK faces budget cuts. Camilla gets criticism for this, even though she doesn't control the funding. Many ask if the monarchy is providing good value for money. Her recent absences contribute to a narrative of her slowing down, which contrasts with Queen Elizabeth's long reign of nearly 70 years during which she rarely missed duties. Camilla's breaks, while fair for her age, don't match that legacy. Compared to younger royals like William and Kate, she might seem less prominent, appearing as a transitional queen until the next generation takes over. This shift in duties may reduce her visibility and raise questions about how long she will remain a central figure. It's a sensitive issue for the monarchy, especially as they age in the public eye. Camilla isn't alone in feeling this pressure. Others, like the Duke of Kent, also face challenges. What do you think about Camilla's current role? Is the pressure fair, or is it too much? Share your thoughts below. Like this if you're interested in royal news, and subscribe for more updates. The Duke of Kent, Royal Fade. The Duke of Kent was a quiet member of the royal family. Unlike other royals who were often in the spotlight, he mostly stayed out of the public eye. He attended events, performed duties, and supported different causes, but did not attract the same media attention as younger royals. This gave him a sense of dignity, but many people knew little about him beyond his title. His commitment to his work was long and loyal, even if it didn't bring him the same fame. This began to change when he retired from his essential roles. In April 2024, at 88 years old, the Duke of Kent stepped down as Colonel of the Scots Guards, a position he had held for 50 years. He had been the ceremonial head of the regiment, participating in events like the annual Black Sunday service to honor fallen guardsmen. His long service to this role was significant, and his retirement marked the end of an era. In November 2023, he also left his position as president of the Commonwealth War Graves Commission, another role he held for over 50 years. For most of his life, his name had become linked to the remembrance of soldiers across the Commonwealth. His retirement showed his age and the changes happening within the royal household. The Duke, named initially Prince Edward, was born in 1935. He was the son of Prince George, Duke of Kent, and Princess Marina of Greece and Denmark. From birth, he had a clear place in the royal family as a first cousin of Queen Elizabeth. This connection kept him in the public eye, even if he was not at the center of royal attention. His family background connected him to both the British throne and European royalty. At just 6 years old, he experienced loss when his father died in a plane crash during World War II. This tragic event meant he became the Duke of Kent very young, bringing him heavy responsibilities. His upbringing linked him to the wartime royal family, who bore significant burdens during Britain's most challenging times. From then on, he was expected to uphold the traditions of his title and fulfill his role. As he grew older, the Duke chose a path of service. Like many royals, he joined the military, serving in the British Army with the Royal Scots Greys, among other units. His military service taught him discipline and helped him form strong connections with soldiers. He worked his way through the ranks and retired as a lieutenant colonel. This experience influenced much of his later ceremonial life, giving him authority and knowledge while representing regiments and supporting veterans. The Duke also embraced duty in his personal life but led a quieter life. He married Catherine Worsley in 1961, who became the Duchess of Kent. Their marriage connected them to the English aristocracy, and they had 3 children. The Duchess preferred a lower-profile life and even worked as a teacher outside the royal spotlight. This choice gave their family a different place than other royals. While still tied to their duties, they did not always seek media attention. The Duke of Kent had many responsibilities over the years. He served as Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of England for over 50 years and was involved with military and remembrance groups like the Commonwealth War Graves Commission. Unlike many royals, he focused on various areas that honored tradition and history. He was the Colonel of the Scots Guards for 50 years, attending their events to strengthen the connection between the monarchy and the armed forces. His decision to step down marked the end of a significant role in public life. After Queen Elizabeth died in 2022, he became less visible. With King Charles now on the throne, the monarchy focuses on fewer working royals, which further reduces the Duke's role as he nears 89 years old and faces health issues that limit his activities. Even with a smaller presence today, the Duke of Kent connects us to earlier royal eras, having lived through the reigns of George VI, Elizabeth II, and now Charles III. Changes in the royal family have also affected younger royals. Prince William, for example, is more visible now, and his role is changing in ways that may change how people see him as the future king. How William's future is changing. With Charles becoming king, William is now the direct heir to the throne and has new responsibilities. A primary duty is managing the Duchy of Cornwall, which provides income for royal activities and helps prepare him for his future role. Catherine's role has also grown from being a royal spouse to becoming the future queen consort. She has more public appearances and balances her royal duties with family life. She focuses on early childhood development, primarily through her Shaping Us campaign, which helps her establish her identity within the royal family. After Harry and Meghan left in 2020, William and Catherine took on more royal duties, becoming the family's main younger representatives. Their increased visibility changed how the public saw them, making them important figures in supporting the monarchy. The death of Prince Philip in 2021 resulted in William and Catherine stepping into roles he once held, ensuring that royal responsibilities continued smoothly. The Queen's death in 2022 established William's status as the official heir and connected Catherine more closely to Princess Diana's legacy. As Prince of Wales, William's diplomatic role has grown. He represents Britain abroad and helps build international relationships after Brexit. His presence highlights the monarchy's ongoing importance globally. Catherine focuses on charities, especially those related to mental health, education, and childhood. She actively creates initiatives like her Shaping Us campaign, which helps shape the family's public image. Their children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, are slowly introduced to public life. George, second in line to the throne, participates in national events. Their parenting style is modern and open, recognizing the responsibilities their children will eventually take on. With fewer working royals, family members like Princess Beatrice and Eugenie are more visible and support various causes. Zara Tindall engages the public through equestrian events. These changes highlight William and Catherine, representing the monarchy's traditions and future goals.